Yo, what is up? Welcome back to the Culture and Cannabis Podcast. Happy Thursday. I am one of your hosts, Full-Time Tony, here with the one and only JC Coates. How we doing, JC?
What's up? What's up, my brother?
Sleeves out today.
Sleeves out, man.
Sleeves off.
Listen, it's summer. Sleeves out all summer, man. Sleeves out all summer.
There's a heat warning happening right now, so, don't get those arms too burnt.
Listen, just, give me the shirt and a pair of scissors. I'll get right, and then we can start the day. That's it. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, we can all tell.
It's a different mindset. It's a different way of life.
Yeah. It's been really hot outside, though.
It has been hot outside. Like, it's been
they call
hot.
it a heat advisory warning.
Heat advisory? I think I got one of those things on my phone.
Yeah, they say, don't go outside because it's way too fucking hot. If you're going to do anything, do it at night because it's way cooler.
Yeah, it is Las Vegas. And, listen, running around this town selling cannabis in this beautiful town of Las Vegas, it gets hot out here.
Yeah, straight up.
It gets hot out here, man.
I get migraines from it, but we're going to push through today.
Yeah.
But
don't be a little bitch, bro.
Thanks, appreciate it. But we do have a great guest today, JC. Who do we have?
Okay. Listen, we have a young man that I've met this year. Just a little background. We're doing a pop-up at X Hill. He came through with an incredible message that he leads with, and he continues to lead with in this interesting limited license cannabis situation that we're in Nevada. As a one of the few black CEOs of a cannabis company, we got RT of Homie Cannabis in the building. RT, what's up?
What's good, brother?
This is not a drill. It's good to be here with everybody. Good to be here with you guys. Homie Cannabis CEO RT. This is not a drill. JC Coates, Full-Time Tony. This is not a drill. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on the show, man. Let's get into this. RT, tell them who you are and what you're up to right at this moment.
Fundamentally, I just am an entrepreneur that had a dream to really get into the cannabis game and to define my niche for my community, particularly for people of color and minorities, because there's so few opportunities up and down the supply chain. And, I put forth the time, the energy, effort, self-funded too, but it's truly been a fantastic journey, a challenging journey, getting Homie Cannabis launched at the Reef, by the way. The Reef Trike has been incredible. Corporate partners of mine, but JC, it took a lot of hard work. Full-Time Tony, it took a lot of hard work, a lot of patience, a lot of roadblocks, obstacles, and hurdles. But this business is really wonderful in that it's really moving towards inclusion and diversity and unity around the plant. Right. And so I'm encouraged to see where we're headed. At the end of the day, all three of us unite around our love for the plant. And, I'm happy to be a part of the Vegas cannabis community. Homie Cannabis is off to an incredible start, crushing it at the register,
That's beautiful.
Selling out of some of the strains. And, the fact that we are all here together, the three of us, it really is a reflection of that unity.
Yeah.
That, last year, when we met, just to be able to see you doing your thing for culture and cannabis and to know that, I support you and your team, and to see it come back, in a reciprocal fashion is meaningful and tangible. And that's what it's about. There's enough money in this game for everybody. Folks sometimes, Tony, they say, "Wait a minute, JC and RT, we're not competitors. We're not rivals. We're not beefing. This is my brother, and he is somebody that I actually go to for input, guidance, or just to vent a little bit, like when I called you just 2 or 3 days ago.
Right.
And so that's the beauty of the business. There's an opportunity for those that really want to exercise the due diligence and showcase the discipline and the wherewithal to identify the area where your skills and talents can be utilized, make friends, develop good connections, develop your network. And it's just beautiful to see this kind of unity because this is what it's about. To see culture and cannabis, supporting Homie Cannabis, JC Coates, Full-Time Tony, and RT together. That's what it's about.
It is because we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for cannabis, right? Like 1,000%. Even me and Tony, right? Not necessarily just you and I and our skin color, all of us, right? Like, but specifically our skin color too, right? Like if we want to get real about it. And at the end of the day, right? Like we're here selling cannabis and selling it, and you're crushing it at the registers, but there's minorities in prison right now, right? For this stuff, right?
True.
And that's what's so beautiful about people in the Nevada cannabis industry is people like you that come into this space with such and lead with such of a message that you have for inclusion and peace and unity and for space for minority in this market, and you get it done. It's just we need you here. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people, and we talk about it all the time, our brothers and sisters that feel like they've been left out because of the way that the lottery systems and stuff. But you've looked at some of those obstacles square in the eye, RT, and you've taken them on. And you ain't sugarcoating it. You're putting it exactly what it is and what it should be, right? And so let's talk about some of the main obstacles you overcame getting your brand on shelves in Nevada. What was the number one obstacle?
The biggest thing for a minority, particularly a minority male, is that the business is so heavily dominated by the rappers or the athletes. A lot of the brands that are actually sitting on the shelf. That's the end game. There's a product and there's a customer. So regardless of the up and down the supply chain, so cultivation, production, packaging, delivery, et cetera, the end game is that there's a product and there's a customer, and a product on the shelf. And so many of them have executed licensing deals that the space has been taken up by the big homies, if you will. And so, a big part of that was to say, you can't have a business model in an industry where the only people who are minorities that are allowed to participate are either ex-athletes, current athletes in the CBD space, or the dozen or so multi-millionaire black male rappers doing licensing deals. You have to create an industry and a sector where the little guy, the little homie, if you will, if he believes in himself and he invests in himself and he's able to pull his resources together, that there is truly an opportunity where there's a job or an opportunity to create your own business and be a part of this wonderful industry. And so much of what I tried to do was not just build a business and build a brand, but also give some real inspiration and motivation to everybody, but particularly minorities, that the little homie can win sometimes in this game. The inclusion of the multi-millionaire rapper should not come at the exclusion of the everyday homie. And I'm living proof of it. Between all the hard work and all the people behind the scenes in cultivation, production, packaging, marketing, branding, legal, delivery, you name it, that have been supportive of me, at the very end, it still took a corporate partner like the Reef Trike that believed in me and believed in the brand to say, hey, we're in the business of some of the folks you're talking about, but we're going to make sure we put Homie Cannabis right on the shelf with Cameron, right on the shelf with Wiz Khalifa. And so it took the Reef Trike's real commitment to inclusion, diversity, and access to retail. And then the push behind me has been tremendous in terms of their support and the community. Let's face it. I talk about Homie Cannabis, Project Inspired, Hood Approved, is fueled by the people, for the people. That's not just words and marketing and messaging. I mean that. The people ultimately in the pot game decide what's hot and what's not because of the limitations in terms of advertising and how we could advertise cannabis. The restrictions imposed by Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So you have to get it creative. At the end of the day, you have to have a product, yes, and product matters, but you also have to have a real, authentic message that connects with your consumer and understand who my consumer is. And that's the difference. That's why I said there's enough room for all of us. I understand my niche, my lane, and I'm trying to operate in it.
And then, okay, so let me just jump in here really quick, right? So a lot of times when Tony and I are looking at bringing new products to market, we look for gaps in the market, right? Holes in the market. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's a price hole, or that's a what are some of the holes we look for? Like,
price,
price,
creativity,
right?
Message behind the product.
Well, but not usually message, right? And that's what I wanted to get to. Usually, it's a little bit more simple, right? It's a price, or it's
sorry, I ruined your metaphor.
Ruined it.
My bad.
But usually it's like when it comes to when it comes to pre-rolls, it's like, oh, look, there's nobody making a 2-pack, right? Let's make a 2-pack. Or when it comes to the 7-gram category, oh, well, let's do it this way to make it cheaper. Or let's do it this way to make it more fancy, right? And that's how we find these gaps, right? You've chosen to find the gap as a message behind your product, right? Why is the message so important to you?
The message truly is what I think differentiates Homie Cannabis from just being just another brand added to the mix. When I set out to establish Homie Cannabis, it really was not just to sell my people some reefer and some gummies. It really is about the messaging, the message about that goes beyond inclusion, diversity, and access to retail, but also to say that minorities and people of color have to move beyond a consumer-only model where we're simply consuming the product. We make up 56% of the consumer base. We're standing in line at the dispensaries. You go in, you see mostly minorities. At any of the top dispensaries in town, especially during the holidays, we're lined up inside, outside. We make up the bulk of the consumer base. But I wanted to make sure that I engaged and challenged my community and my people to say we need to move beyond the consumer-only model and really pay attention to having some ownership and equity in the cannabis sector. And to make sure that we can say to the cannabis sector that we want to renegotiate our relationship at the register, that there has to be some ownership and equity above and beyond the licensing deals that the celebrities do, but that an everyday guy from the hood, an everyday guy that's out here in the community, that's willing to put it all on the line, drain your savings account, banking account, 401 account, and go on a 14-month journey to take an idea and a dream and that's on paper and take it from paper to fruition, where you actually can walk into the reef and it's sitting there on the shelf next to Wiz Khalifa. You have to provide some kind of inspiration and motivation, and that's what I've tried to do, and make sure that I continue to drill down weekly about the message. Yes, product matters, but that at the end of the day, it's more to it than terp levels and genetics and the THC range. Product matters, yes, but at the end of the day, product is product. It's all pretty similar. There's only so many cultivators that we all have to choose from because you have to utilize product that was grown here in Nevada, that's cultivated here in Nevada, that has a COA here in Nevada. So having said that, you have to have something that moves beyond simply, hey, I got great product and I got a THC range of 24 or 26. Well, so does JC and about 9 other brands. So what are you going to do, or what are you doing to incentivize your people, your niche, your consumers to want to be motivated to go into the reef and actually purchase your product? And it begins with messaging, and it also begins really with me and the construct that I'm an extension of the brand. It's much more than just flour and pre-rolls and maybe some gummies added to the mix. Really, I am an extension of the brand, and what people will hopefully buy into and believe in is me, and knowing that I am doing my level best to be a model and an inspiration and represent myself and my community and Reef Tribe to the best of my abilities.
That's dope. That's
what's up.
And I think it's great because, like, from an entrepreneurial standpoint, you're driven by purpose, right? And especially in the cannabis industry, things get so hard where it's easy to just quit and not do any of this shit. Like, it's not worth it, right? But when you're driven by purpose, you can deal with all that stuff, right? And sometimes, not always making that huge profit in the first 14 months it's not such a big deal when you're able to like impact 2 or 3 people along the way. You know what I mean? And I think that's beautiful. And I think that that's what makes the cannabis industry. There's a lot of that, right? There's, we're obsessed with impact, and we want to, because, once you can impact somebody, then from a brand standpoint, right, you can really get under, consumers, into their, existence or whatever. You know what I mean? You can really get close to them. So let's talk about some of the products, man. So what do we got here? So you did, let's do some of the logistics here. So you did a licensing deal yourself, right? You figured out how to do this with a license out here, and then you sell your products exclusively at those stores. So what are the products and where are they sold?
Right now, we're doing flower, pre-rolls added to the mix. And right now, Homie Cannabis is only available at Reef Trike dispensaries in the state of Nevada. As I indicated, the Reef has been tremendous corporate partners and have been tremendously supportive of me. And we crushed it. What can I say? I mean, nobody anticipated that, we'd be able to ship the amount of weight that we did out of the gate and sell through a significant portion of it. We were able to do 3 or 4 in-store pop-ups and or pull-ups, as I call them.
Nice.
And the turnout was tremendous. Tremendous reception from the community. And I have not decided whether or not Homie Cannabis will be made available to other dispensaries. I've had a number of dispensaries before I launched and especially after I've launched to call and congratulate me, but also to inquire about carrying Homie Cannabis. Right now, Homie Cannabis is exclusively sold at the Reef, and I have not decided whether or not I'm going to make it available to any other dispensary at all.
Nice. So shout out to the Reef. Shout out to the Reef. Shout out to Julianne over at the Reef.
That's right.
Shouts out.
Let's see. So, all right. So, were there any failures to getting your licensing deals accomplished? Was the where you're at now? Was that the first time? Did you have some other goes at it? It didn't work out, or was that the first one? Now it's one done.
It has been when I say blocks, obstacles, and hurdles. Truly, I genuinely mean that. There were some challenges certainly along the way. But I had always anticipated launching with a major, fully integrated cannabis company. And, Reef Trike was on that short list of 3. And, but I did experience some setbacks and some legal challenges along the way. And you have to be prepared for that.
Let me, and if I might, I think I remember there might have been a launch with a Curaleaf at one point, and maybe it didn't work out. And I have a lot of, I don't know all the what went into that, but when you start in business and things don't always go as planned, right? You might have the short list and you go and they don't always work out, right? But a lot of times in the beginning you make those big failures right in front of everyone, right?
Right.
In the beginning, right? How do you deal with those?
I'm a pretty level-headed guy in terms of managing my emotions. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, one of the things my godfather taught me is that when your name is on the shingle, you got to make a jingle. So you package, you sweep, you help facilitate the marketing, but you cannot allow your emotions to go too high on the wins and too low on the losses. I try to keep an even keel and really try to think things through in a very calculated sense. And so I anticipate that there's going to be some setbacks, and I prepare for them. But most of all, when it actually happens, I try to put my emotions aside and think through my paces in terms of what needs to be done. What's the solution? The biggest thing has not been finding a home for Homie Cannabis. The biggest part is with the expansion of so many licensed retailers and there's not an increase in the number of licensed cultivators, naturally we all experience, full-time Tony's laughing, naturally we experience, that shortage in terms of product.
Facts.
And so that's the real, piece of the puzzle that we need to solve in Nevada. For me, it was just really about finding a good corporate partner. There's some great companies in Nevada and in Las Vegas. And fortunately, I've been able to make great contacts with 4 or 5 of the top companies, not only in Las Vegas and the state of Nevada, but also in LA. The way that I set this up was to galvanize and capture the consciousness of the people, the consumers, at the same time, make sure that I am delivering a message that resonates with the gatekeepers and the landlords. So before Homie Cannabis even launched in Las Vegas, 4 or 5 or 6 of the top cannabis companies in the United States, they knew exactly who I was and exactly what I was doing and exactly what was planned. You name them, you name the big boys, they knew. And that's a real testament to the way that I wanted to put it together. Is first of all, let's travel and talk about Homie Cannabis and talk about why I want to enter the cannabis space. Let's really drill down on the messaging and take the message to the people, and at the same time continue to do some real networking with those that call the shots. So when the time came, they would know A, about me, B, know that it's real in terms of what I'm articulating, particularly to people of color, and my reason for wanting to get into the cannabis space. And it's just it's been a tremendous feedback from a corporate level as well, because ultimately I like to take Homie Cannabis beyond the Las Vegas market. So I've been in contact with, you name the companies, in Atlanta, in New York, in Boston. One of the guys that I talked to is a good friend and mentor, is the president and CEO of Vertical Brands in LA. These are the kinds of contacts you got to make. And they've watched the journey. This is the beautiful part. Right. Just like you and full-time Tony and your girl, you're watching it grow over 14 months, and now after launch, right in front of your eyes. So there are actually some serious high-level cannabis executives, not only in Las Vegas, but in LA and Chicago and Massachusetts and Florida and Atlanta, that have also been watching the journey. They remember when I made the call and say, hey, this is something I'm going to do. I'm going to do it on my own. I'm not going to reach out to any of my friends and associates that I may know that's in entertainment or sports and ask for help. I'm going to do it on my own with the people. And here's the whole platform behind it. This is how I'm going to build it. And what the Las Vegas community and those across the country are really witnessing is the birth of the brand, and actually watching me execute the strategy right before your eyes. Literally right before your eyes, it's coming to life. And sort of been like that concrete rose we talk about. I've been slowly but surely, growing through the cracks of the pavement, and now Homie Cannabis is actually starting to bloom.
I like that analogy.
Yeah, I do too. You're kind of like a concrete rose.
I've been a concrete rose for a minute. Shit, dude.
Jeez, man. It's rough out here, man. Right? I mean, trying to do all this this cannabis stuff, and
it ain't easy. It's definitely not for the faint of heart.
It is definitely not for the faint of heart. You hear full-time Tony and JC Coach tell you, these guys have had a head start. That's why I reach out to my brother and I call him. And sometimes I'm like, man, this is hard. This is hard. This is real hard. And you better be prepared. You can dream big, but I always say, Puffy used to say, hey, you can dream big, but you got to wake up and be willing to put in the work. 14 months, working 6-7 days a week, 12, 13, 14, 15 hours a day. And then, of course, by the way I set it up, I had to fly to LA, fly to Chicago, fly to Detroit multiple times, fly to Atlanta. to spread the message about homie cannabis. So unless you're willing to put forth the time, the energy, the effort, the money, the sweat equity, and put in the sheer number of hours that it takes, I'm talking 14 hours a day, 6 days a week, 2 hours on Sunday, and then I try to kick back, have a cigar, have some black water.
That's good, man.
But also, I built it up around, more of a lifestyle. When I talk about this is not a drill, project inspired, hood approved, that homie stamp of approval.
Yeah.
That's why there's other things that I've added to the mix from day one. I wanted to bring a different image to the space. I felt that there needed to be another image and another look, particularly for black men in the cannabis sector. That's why you guys see, so much of the Hugo Boss suits and et cetera. That was important. Being supported by, Mr. Bergstein and the corporate brass at Blackwater. You work out in the gym looking good. Hey, Tony, we got to get out there. Yeah, but, this is, some of the best water. If you embrace the plant, a workout, in the gym like you do, Blackwater is phenomenal. The fulvic minerals, antioxidants, amino acids, electrolytes. It's water, folks. No dye, no games, no gimmicks. This is top shelf water. We live in a very hot environment, 100 plus degrees every single day. So, I'm drinking this, throughout the course of the day. I highly recommend it. So, this is another brand partnership. And, I continue to make some traction in terms of cultivating other brand partnerships. And that was important so that people could see me expanding. I'm taking this homie lifestyle and expanding it, whether it's, Hugo Boss suits, Blackwater, Particle. I just added Particle. I definitely want you guys, I got somebody here, I want you to bring them some Particle. This is something I want you guys to try, especially the guys with the good hair. I wanted to take this, guys, well beyond just, like I said, just cannabis. The message was going to be taken beyond just selling, my folks, some reefer and some gummies and some pre-rolls. But I also wanted them to tie in to the lifestyle, the homie lifestyle. As a matter of fact, here, why don't you bring a few of those items over. This is something. This is the product that I want all men to sign up and sign on with. Particle, they say there's nothing like a well-groomed man. I agree. Particle, this is not a commercial, but I actually use this product. They're my newest brand partnership. This is a 6-in-1 anti-aging face cream. We all getting a little older.
Okay. yes, we are.
This is the face wash.
Okay.
You use that 2 or 3 times a day for good-looking guys like Full-Time Tony and JC Coast. This is the body wash.
Okay.
And this is the face mask.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, you got
guys can wear masks now.
Yes,
we can do this.
We can do the face cream, body wash,
Mask off.
We also got I got one more. You grab you got a shampoo there too. Nice. Full-Time Tony will love the shampoo.
Sounds good.
Particle. I just signed to be with Particle. They're my newest brand partnership, corporate brand partnership. So actually, in about a week or two, you're going to see RT on a Particle commercial. Full-Time Tony, this is what you would be using. Now, we use it too, because people don't realize we just don't take the rag, JC, and just slide their head down. We actually use shampoo too.
Yeah.
But that's the Particle shampoo. They have a wonderful line of personal grooming products. And so overall, whether, like I said, whether it's, Hugo Boss Fashions or Blackwater or Particle or some of the other brands that I'm affiliated with, it all starts with the message behind homie cannabis, then homie cannabis, and then the other things. And I'm only going to take on brand partnerships that, reflect, my style and persona and products that I actually use and believe in. It's not even about, hey, they're paying me to say this or paying me to drink this. No, I think Blackwater is great water. Particle is one of the newest lines to hit the market. Homie Cannabis is crushing it at the Reef. And, folks know I wear a lot of suits, and, I love Hugo Boss.
That's dope, man. Listen, thanks for coming on. You really are a great example of just like the law of attraction, right? I mean, like how you've, you kind of made the plan, you called everybody up, you said, this is what I'm going to do, right? You pulled up on me at Exhale, like, yo, I'm here now, just so you know, and you're out here executing, right? And you're doing it as a minority in a place where a lot of minorities feel like they can't. Right, and you're doing it. We're leading with a message of encouragement, and that it can be done. That there is room for inclusion in this state. I think it's just a beautiful thing, man. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
You know what? Thanks for having me. I appreciate Full-Time Tony, JC Coates, the entire Culture and Cannabis team. This is my brother. I appreciate his input and guidance, and even constructive criticism, and just showing the unity and love that I talk about. This important. There's enough money in this business for everybody, and I'm just so elated for the Las Vegas community and cannabis community to be able to see me and JC Coates together, practicing unity. We're not paying lip service to it. This is my brother. Facts, and I support him and his team, and he supports me fully, and he's rooting for me every step of the way. And I just want to say thank you once again to the Las Vegas community, cannabis community, all the people out there that have purchased Homie Cannabis, and most of all, special thanks to the Reef Trike for being a heck of a corporate partner, because that's where it starts from. And the Reef has done a hell of a job supporting me and Homie Cannabis, and I appreciate and respect them fully.
Where can they find Homie Cannabis? Like, where can they find you online?
You can find me at homiecannabis.com. Go to homiecannabis.com. Read about the brand and me and the mission. And certainly, you can go to Instagram at RT Paperboy and follow me. But definitely go to homiecannabis.com. I got the blog too at colorofcannabis.org. Not just a blog page, but when you click the blog link, it turns into a whole blog and takes you to another site. So definitely check out homiecannabis.com.
Nice.
Dope.
Nice stuff.
Thank you so much, man.
RT Paperboy in the building. Thank you.
This is not a drill. This is not a drill.
It was not a drill.
What else we got going on, Tony?
Well, we were supposed to have a pop-up tomorrow at 420 Sahara Wellness.
What happened to that?
There's an excessive heat warning happening, so they didn't want people to die.
Okay. That's how hot it is out here, folks.
It's like legit 116 degrees outside. Like, you can damage your body badly if you sit in it for too long. Potentially ruin your skin. That's why you need the particle.
Yeah. I definitely need.
Yeah.
I might have to put these guns away, man.
Yeah, bro. You're gonna need some face masks tonight, brother.
Yes, man. I didn't mean to take over the podcast again this week.
It's okay. I like when you take over the podcast.
You do?
I was dealing with this migraine. I was just trying to enjoy myself. Yeah. Rick is mad at me because I was trying to not focus about the migraine. I was shaking my leg too much. He's like, he stood up at one point and yelled at me.
Yeah, you did get yelled at.
I got yelled at. The worst type of yelling is when there's no noise.
Right. He's lip syncing really loud.
He was just stop fucking shaking your fucking leg. And so I was like, sorry. But other than that, we have, I think I'm confident that we have a product that's going to come out.
We do have a product here. It looks like the 15th.
Wait, Rick, you have to cut a clip when JC said that was going to be 2 weeks. You have to cut a clip. But now it's live. It's been 1 month since you said that.
It has been 1 month.
Maybe 6 weeks, but... Yeah. Listen, we made it happen. Sometimes, just like RT said, it's not gonna happen overnight. It's gonna take some fucking time, people.
Yeah, you gotta. It's okay to have the big dreams, but you gotta wake up and put in the work.
You gotta will it into existence, as JC says.
And listen, there's gonna be some failures along the way, right? You're gonna miss some targets in the beginning, but listen, we got through all that stuff. We got it done. Looks like we have an exclusive partner. We will announce them next week. But we do have an amazing exclusive partner. We're going to launch the 24 karat gold infused pre-roll by Culture and Cannabis called the Hustler at a special store. It's going to be exclusively available there for just 14 days, and then we're going to open it up to the rest of the state. And I can't wait to announce those partners.
It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be super cool. We're gonna drop a bunch of dope content. Stay tuned for that. What else do we have going on? Is that it? Oh, you can catch me in Reno, not next week, but next week. Catch me and Chuck in Reno. We'll be there for a couple days. Just be bouncing around, doing our culture and cannabis thing. So if you want to say hi, come say hi. Anything else that we have?
I mean, we just came off a huge First Friday event, and
dude,
we're going to be right back at it next First Friday at the Sanctuary. It's going to be dope.
Yeah, August 6th, back at it again at the Sanctuary. Are we going to have more performances this time? I mean, it got fucking crazy.
It was
bro.
nuts, dude. The rappers were like crowd surfing inside the dispensary.
Wild. I think that's the first time I think anyone's ever crowd surfed at a dispensary ever in the history of dispensary. Like, I think honestly, I think we said a first.
We could have.
And I'm pumped.
In downtown Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, baby, 3rd Street. Anything else?
Catch us next week.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for watching the podcast. We'll see you guys next Thursday. Peace.